You haven't won yet. There's no way you can beat Bowser even with those star spirits. Even if you do, those star spirits won't save you from what's below Toad Town. Oh, so he mentions the thing. Also, he just fucking hops right in the fire. Okay, so to get this started, we need to go all the way back to chapter 2, where I initially discovered the start of this brand new chapter in Dark Star Edition. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Dark Star Edition is a ROM hack of Paper Mario 64 that reworks and adds a bunch of stuff to the game to make it difficult. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it's much appreciated. Anyway, it all started when I noticed this nice metal block sitting under the dojo. I was a curious cat, so I decided to break the block and explore a bit. Well, that was a mistake, because what I discovered is this thing called a Robotoad. Let me tell you, this guy means business. He beat my ass so hard that I actually decided to not even try it a second time. I'm leaving that motherfucker alone. For now. Fast forward to right after chapter 6, where I decided to run it back on that monster. Now, I will mention that I did have a very loyal chatter by my side named Drake, who was guiding me through my playthrough with minor tips and reminders, and the main thing he said about the Robotoad fight, and a lot of the fights in chapter 9, is that they work more like puzzles that can't really be completed with brute force. Here's how it went. Robotoad, a robotic toad guard who guards the entrance to the cave below. He looks strong, but his programming is outdated and unpredictable. He has 3 different modes. The red one does the most damage, the blue one has higher defense, and the yellow one will buff itself. Each hit will change his form in a cycle from red to blue to yellow, then back to red. It shouldn't be too hard to keep him in a certain form, but they're all pretty strong. Okay, so if I don't want him to buff himself, the one I would need to keep him in is blue, but he gains a massive defense. So I have to make sure he cycles to blue. I was closer that time though. Well, I think I'm just dead here either way. Yeah. It's a nice puzzle though, isn't it? It is, yeah. Definitely gonna be a fun one to figure out. That's the kind of things you get in with the Dark Star chapter? I see. Yeah. This is, okay, so literally this is just a matter of not fucking up the action commands. Which I'm literally going to do. There we go. So, now I do this. And then I can... Yeah. Doesn't matter, he's dead. He's dead. Oh, thank God. I beat the Robotoad. Ooh. Okay, we figured it out. Now that I defeated the Robotoad, it was time to explore. Is there like a pit of 100 trials in here? Shortcut? What? Well, this is really cool. I like the soundtrack for it. There's something you don't understand? What is that? These 2 rooms? They're supposed to be filled with enemies? Like the one I was just in this one? Yeah, there really isn't much here, and that's due to the fact that most of the content isn't accessible until you get to Chapter 8, and I was only in post-Chapter 6 at the time. Except for this. That's right, the Pit of 100 Trials. But let's not focus on that right now. Don't worry though, I'll get into that later in this video. As I explored, I came across this little Sparky who was big chillin' by this rubble that was blocking my path forward. Well, that sucks, but guess I have to come back later. I'll at least do the first 10 levels of the Pit of 100 Trials and get a cool badge while I'm down here. Fast forward again, but to right before I defeated Bowser. I did some more exploring in the cave because I had had enough of losing to that oversized turtle for the past couple of days. Now, the areas were actually populated with enemies this time, and I wanted to see what they were about. The dark caverns drain your star power. I see. Yep, you saw that correctly. Battling in the cave drains your star power over time, and all of the enemies drain your FP when they hit you. Not only that, but the clefts and bristles, which are now made of steel, inherit the trait where they don't stop attacking until you block. Just what I fucking wanted. The big pile of rubble blocking my path was removed, so now I could explore further in that direction, which I promptly did, and there's another Robotoad. Jesus Christ, this just keeps getting better and better. So this guy is just the cooler older brother of Robotoad, and he doesn't give a fuck about how you hit him. He changes form when he damn well pleases, and he has better everything compared to the cakewalk that was the Robotoad. Thankfully, I had come prepared with a bunch of items, and it took every last one of them to keep myself alive long enough to defeat the Toadinator. Very nice. Very nice. I used all of my items for that. I'd literally just started exploring, and it's already been fun. I entered what was behind the Toadinator and was elated to find out it was the new town filled with Lil Sparkies, which is really nice to see because the Lil Sparkies don't get used at all in the base game aside from Watt. I listened to a bunch of the Lil Sparkies yap about not having visitors in a while due to the Toadinator doing its job, and then came across this scientist-looking Sparky. He's the one that you need to talk to in order to get the Lil Oink machine back up and running, and to fix the pipe that leads in and out of that town. But only after you give him a hustle drink so he can finish working on this other Toadinator. Moving on to the second area of the town, I talked with this one guy here, and he said that if I wanted to talk with the mayor that I could find him atop of the hill. But first, I found some boxes in an enclosed area with various items laying around. I picked up a few of them and then got thrown into battle with an Ultra Shroom? Oh no, not this again. Let me tell you, this little guy was pissed beyond belief because its one single move deals 49 damage and it fully heals itself every turn. So I learned my lesson and decided to not fuck with that thing ever again. Next I visited the shop to see what his stock was, and oh boy, this guy's selection is insane. Here I thought you had to find all these sick nasty mushrooms, but this guy just has them for sale. So of course I bought some, and I'll definitely be back. Anyway, I talked with the mayor and he said he won't give me the key to the Temple of Darkness because there's incredibly dangerous stuff in there, and that it takes 2 keys to open it anyway. Maybe if I convinced the second key holder to give me their key, he would consider giving me his. So I went around town and talked with a bunch of people to see if maybe I could get a hint or something about the second key holder, and let me tell you, this game gives you nothing. It wasn't until I got a super vague hint from Drink that I actually managed to figure it out. It's Buzzitrus. And for those of you that are unaware, Buzzitrus is actually a new partner that you get in Chapter 8. So just a little forewarning. You can't actually start the Temple of Darkness until you have Buzzitrus in your party. Oh yeah, the Temple of Darkness. The Temple of Darkness is a place where only the strongest of enemies reside and was locked away so that whatever was in it couldn't get out and destroy the world. And apparently the ones that are guarding the entrance to the Temple of Darkness are... Let's see. I should not have come here. I should not have come here. At least 2 anti-guys, yeah. At least 2. We weren't wrong. We weren't wrong. There was at least 2. Fuck. I have to face all of them, don't I? You face all of them at once, right? I'm assuming that's what's going on here. Yeah, you saw that correctly. In order to get into the Temple of Darkness, I have to defeat Anti-Guy, Phalanx Guy, Covert Guy, Permafrost Guy, and Nuclear Guy, all at once. We'll just call them the 5 guys for short. Thankfully, I was reminded how these battles actually work more like puzzles, so I devised a plan to hide. I hid literally every single turn. I just bought a bunch of repel gels, threw on Mega Quake, and I only attacked on the turn where I could use out of sight. The other thing that helped a ton in this fight was having the Pity Flower badge, which gives you FP equal to half the damage you take. That way I could get FP back since I couldn't avoid Nuclear Guy's attacks. Once 4 of the 5 guys were defeated, it was only a matter of fighting Covert Guy. Covert Guy lived because he goes invisible when he's attacked and when Mario goes invisible. This is where the 3rd badge, Truth Stomp, comes into play and allows me to hit Covert Guy even when he's invisible. Finally, the 5 guys were defeated and I was rewarded with Right On badge. Makes the action command work every time Mario attacks. Quake Jump. The ultimate move, combining Power Bounce and Mega Quake. Holy shit. Entering the Temple of Darkness, I see a bunch of rooms that are actually puzzles that have boss fights at the end. With 7 in total, I got to work to trying to decipher the first. Also, super cool music choice with a nice homage to the Riddle Tower from the 1000-Year Door. The first one here, you have to use Watt to light up the path and then traverse it, but at the end you have to use Paracarry to blindly fly across this gap. Not much to speak on the second room because it goes relatively the same. Though I will say the Dark Star Kid enemies are no joke here, as they can only be defeated with a move that deals more damage than they have health. The Dark Embers are the same as the blue ones in Chapter 8, but they deal a lot more damage and can't be jumped on even with ice power. The Dark Goombas are just very powerful versions of the big Goombas like the Goomba Bros. So I finished the puzzle and now it's on to the boss fight, which is started by hitting this giant black switch. Oh, and this was a nice music choice as well, with the boss battle music from Super Mario RPG, but in the Paper Mario sound type. This first battle is against a Duplighost called the Dark Replicator. Holy fuck, that is a cool ass name. With 99 defense, this thing can't fight me directly, but it will spawn copies of itself called Dark Replications to fight me for it. It will spawn a total of 3 and lose 1 HP for every copy made. It will always make sure it has 3 copies by its side, and if it does have 3, then it will heal the copies on that turn. The Dark Replications behave like normal Duplighosts, but the amount of damage they do is proportional to the amount of health they have left. So the puzzle here is to make the Dark Replicator kill itself from spitting out copies and also mitigating damage from the copies. There are multiple ways to complete this fight, but the badge setup I had didn't allow for me to take out multiple clones at once, so I went for the slow burn of taking out 1 copy every turn. Thankfully, the Dark Replicator only has 20 health, so it didn't take too long to complete. It's 1 room down. The second room's puzzle isn't very hard to figure out, but it is mechanically difficult. It requires hitting dual-colored switches to make red and blue platforms, ramps, and walls tangible or intangible. The problem is more with the timing because you only have as long as Bombette's fuse to get where you need to go. This one part here is specifically the bitch of the entire puzzle due to how tight the timing is, even with the Speedy Spin badge. But after many attempts, I made it and proceeded to the boss fight. This time around, I'm put up against a Bazap called the Dark Summoner, and this fucker is one hell of a puzzle. For starters, the Dark Summoner has 70 HP, 8 unpierceable defense, and does not attack. It surrounds itself with 4 bits that have 5 health and 0 defense, with each bit increasing the Dark Summoner's defense by 2, and each bit has a condition to be killed. The perfect bit, Red, can only be defeated with a move that deals as much damage as its maximum health, and it shoots red lasers that immobilize you if unblocked. The shielded bit, Blue, completely negates any move that would overkill it, and it shoots an ice beam that freezes you if unblocked. The sturdy bit, Yellow, cannot be one-shot despite the amount of damage you do to it, and it shoots lightning bolts that paralyze you if unblocked. The viscous bit, Green, will only ever take 1 damage from any attack despite how strong it is, and it breathes poison gas to attack. The last thing about this fight is that if all 4 bits are spawned, then the Dark Summoner will increase their attack power, and the bits will literally just end you in a single turn. Hope that wasn't too confusing. With all that information, it was time to get to work. Okay, so I did a bunch of attempts, and I wasn't even getting close to beating the Dark Summoner. I realized that you really cannot brute force this fight with the specific conditions the bits had to be defeated, and that my problem is stemming from my badge setup. So I thought really long and hard about setting up my badges in a way that would allow me to kill all of the bits at once, so I don't take damage on turn 1. Eventually my noodle was so cooked, I threw on multi-bounce and 2 power plus badges and sent it. I lost a couple more times, and eventually I had a breakthrough, but it was by sheer luck. Specifically on this turn, when I messed up the action command on Goombario's head bonk is when the fight turned around for me. It was due to the fact that missing the action command on that head bonk allowed my next multi-bounce to kill the shielded bit and the perfect bit. Then on the turn after that, I did another multi-bounce to take out the perfect bit and the viscous bit. The Dark Summoner only brings back 1 bit at a time and always starts with the red bit. So now it was just a matter of killing the red bit every turn and then using Goombario to damage the Dark Summoner. Yeah, after I figured that out, it was GG for the Dark Summoner, and I was fucking relieved. For those of you that care about completing this fight in an efficient manner, Drake will now explain it to you. You don't even need multi-bounce, you can just normal jump the red bit. You set your badge to have exactly 5 damage and slowly kill it with your partner. The other thing you didn't seem to realize is all the bits except the red can be one-shot by bow. You didn't need fancy badges, set Mario to kill the red, use bow to slowly kill the others. It's truly a well-crafted puzzle. No, seriously, it is. That's it for room 2. Room 3 is a parkour room with dark embers floating around in your way. I tried to avoid them, but it proved to be way too difficult, so I just ended up murdering all of them and then took my grand old time getting to the switch. This fight is against a fired Cheep known as the Dark Revenant. This fight is actually super straightforward. The Dark Revenant starts out with 20 HP and does minimal damage, but every time his HP goes to 0, he comes back stronger and with more health. That's it, that's the fight. I got it on my second try. Anyway, on to the next one. Room number 4 is another red and blue switch puzzle, but it wasn't anywhere near as hard as the previous one. I quickly made my way through both of the rooms and started the fight against this little Sparky called the Dark Aspirant. The deal with this one is that it will use multiple turns to charge up and release a move that kills you in a single turn, but every time you deal heavy damage to it, it will lose some of its charge. I lost the first time I fought it, but I got it on the second try with Buzzatriz's Hustle Spell, Hammer Throw, and using Out of Sight on the turn that the big charge move comes out. Nice. Alright, that's number 4 down. The 5th room is partially parkour, but also just a narrow path with strong and super avoidable enemies. I just decided to not fight any of these enemies here and went straight to the boss, which is an atomic boo named the Dark Collective. This boss works similarly to Huff and Puff, where hitting it will spawn smaller versions of itself, and those smaller versions will attack and go back into the Dark Collective to heal it. Not only that, but they also receive the same buffs as the Dark Collective. Oh yeah, the Dark Collective will also increase its attack power every single turn. I figured out that I could just hit the Dark Collective as hard as I want with Mario, and then take out the invisible boos that spawn from it with Buzzatriz's Power Beam. It's not a very hard fight, but it does take a little while as the Dark Collective has 120 HP. Nice. The 6th room is parkour-like as well, but with rotating platforms. Super straightforward, and it was actually pretty fun to do. The boss fight is against the dry bones called the Dark Shieldbearer. With 90 HP, the dealio here is that the Dark Shieldbearer increases its defense by 2 after every single turn. Unpierceable defense, that is. And it's my job to kill him before I can no longer deal damage to him. Yeah, not really much to this fight, but it did take me 2 tries to get it done. 2. Oh yeah, easy dubs. now it's time for the 7th and final room. This room is by far the easiest room, as all it requires is to hit a switch and then race to the next room before the gate blocking it closes. The second room here is the harder of the two, but even then, it didn't take me long to make it to the boss, which is a Ninja Koopa called the Dark Traveler with 120 HP and 2 defense, who can attack from all directions and bend the space around him. Essentially what this means is that when he attacks, he will drop these little void cubes that are invincible and only serve to get in your way. But I figured out that Buzzatriss's power beam didn't care about those little void cubes. GG. That's the final room down. Now, to see what the area in the center is about. Alright, well that's all of those. Your power has been proven. Now take the central path. The next step is to ascend. Face the Revenant of his wrath. Alright, here's the final boss. Let's see what he's about. Wait. Oh, wait, okay. Let me go get a beer. Alright, you get comfy there, Drink. You get comfy. Oh wait, your name is Drink, what are you expecting? That's also true. Got beer and cookies. Alright, let's take on the boss now. Huh? This is the top of the Temple of Darkness. This big empty space seems pretty ominous. Whatever is up here is probably stronger than all the other bosses inside the temple. Thanks, Goombario, for your insight. Alright, let's see what this is. With this final breath, he called forth a weapon, one that could cause death and bring the world to reckon. It would remain sealed until this text is revealed. Now the world shall yield. Oh, what? Just a bunch of question marks. Not sure what this is. Looks like some sort of shadowy sword. It has a variety of attacks it can do, and they all get stronger as time goes on. It was stuck down here for quite a while, so it's probably not that strong, right? It could be wrong, though. I have no idea what this thing is capable of. Maybe we should try to defeat it as fast as possible. Also, what is this music? Wait, is this because the creator's name is Shadeblade? Are we fighting Shadeblade? This fight is ridiculous, and yes, that is Shadeblade that I'm fighting, the creator of the ROM hack. Not only does he do moves with massive damage and deals status effects, but the fucker takes away your goddamn B button in the middle of the fight. Uh-oh. Reality is tearing apart. You can no longer press B. I have to be 100% certain of what I'm doing now. Not only that, but nearing the end of the fight, he'll just take away your items too. And don't even think about saying anything about the Star Spirits, because you lose their power when you get near the Temple of Darkness. They literally have no power here. I haven't used them in a single fight because I can't. Perhaps you believe the Star Spirits will save you when you inevitably fail. Unfortunately, that will not happen here. This temple is one of the few places where they have no power. Despite all of his shenanigans, the fight is relatively straightforward, and it would only be a matter of time before I actually got it down. Fast forward 2 hours of losing, and this happened. Oh my god, of course. It's not what I wanted to happen. It's a little early for that. Fuck. That's not what I wanted at all. Ooh. Too bad, Shadeblade. Too bad. Item? Oh, he never got rid of the items. Guarantee you he gets rid of the items right now. Guarantee you this is the turn he gets rid of the items. I'm banking on it. I am banking on it hard. Let's go. Oh, but I can't use items, so I can't heal. Sick. I just effed myself, kinda. I still should have used the item, but yeah. I got this. I got this. I got this. Let's go! Let's go! Ooh, hard fought battle, man. Didn't realize you had quick change. GG. Thanks. That was fucking awesome, dude. Beat it in a single day. Your first stone. Yeah. Dark Blade is dead. An outcome he did not foresee. Only one thing can be said. GG. That is so good. Knowledge Stone. A stone that gives you knowledge. Read the menu description for more. A stone that gives you knowledge. The link to the source code is... Surprisingly, the Bowser fight took longer to complete than the Shadeblade fight, but the Shadeblade fight was definitely more enticing overall. Great work, my dude, and huge shout out to Drink for helping me in a super vague manner as to not completely spoil things for me. Hold your horses, because I'm not done yet. I told you earlier in the video that we get to the Pit of 100 Trials here too, and I'm a man of my word, so we'll be getting into that now. Okay, I don't feel the need to explain the Pit of 100 Trials, but I have to do it in case someone actually doesn't know what it is. The Pit of 100 Trials is a 100 floor gauntlet run where you have to defeat an enemy on a floor to make a pipe appear to take you to the next floor. Every 10th floor has a mini-boss that gives you a badge as a reward. No, there are no save blocks. No, there are no items for purchase, but some items do drop from defeated enemies. And no, there is no weird dude who's just a head that teleports you to a different floor like in the 1000-Year Door. Just plain Jane 100 floor Gauntlet of Despair. Also, a quick little disclaimer. I did use save states to complete the Pit of 100 Trials as it did take multiple streams, but I never used save states during a fight. I still have some class. Now that we have that out of the way, it's montage time. And that's 99 done. Okay, so before this like goes on anymore, I'm gonna save state right here just to see what's at floor 100. I see. There's an invisible Mario. Oh, so there's no avoiding this guy, right? He's just me. Am I the true monster of level 100? Good luck. Oh god. Sneak attack. Oh. He doesn't have Anti-Bazap as partner? I see. Okay, let's just see what we can do without much. Because I definitely don't have the badges equipped for this. The correct badges equipped. Fuck, he did 10. Wake. You done died it, dude. How dare you done died it, you know? You can't go done died it done. Okay, I'm starting to lose it. How did I not block all that, dude? So that's what it feels like, huh? Taste of your own medicine? Yeah, exactly. Thank God for feeling fine. Yeah, seriously. I didn't realize I had used the golden shroom. You did, but then they used 30 damage. Yeah. Okay. What's going on now? That ain't it. What? Doubles the size of your item inventory. There's no way that was just it.